You're watching the late night news. Now, the cabinet today cleared a bill that provides for death penalty to hijackers. But the most controversial clause of the new rules is the power of the government to shoot down a hijacked plane. This has sent shockwaves among air travelers, with many saying that even if the terrorists don't manage to kill them, their own government will. India's anti-hijacking rules are well on course to be turned into a law. But what should probably worry you as an air traveller is the overriding interest that the government has shown in shooting down a hijacked plane. But do these amendments really solve the problem? Will these amendments deter hijackers from taking hostages aboard a plane? But most importantly, who will call the shots when the situation arises and demands that a plane with over 300 passengers needs to be shot down by the government? But Home Minister P. Chidambaram hasn't been really bothered by these concerns. As the head of the group of ministers on aviation security, Chidambaram delivered a tough message. It doesn't matter how many passengers are inside a hijacked plane, but if the hijacked plane poses a larger threat, it will be brought down.
Like, kind of cool, they should do it. It's a different situation if I am in that plane,
Well, not exactly. Most air travelers and his co-passengers have been left worried by the government's decision.
I'm shocked, absolutely shocked.
Seems to be very, very funny because it's ridiculous also.
It cannot be just like this. They have to go through a lot of discussions and other things.
I mean, it's a horrendous decision, just shooting down a plane just because it's hijacked.
The government's tough line is probably based on the hijacking of IC-814 back in the winter of 1999. The plane was hijacked in Nepal and flown through Indian airspace. The Indians could do nothing except just watch it as it went to land in the Taliban stronghold of Kandahar in Afghanistan.
The hijacker is beyond all this. He is not going to read the fine print and then take decision. You cannot have a provision like that. You see, then who will own the responsibility? If you say nobody can negotiate, negotiation in a hostage situation is an accepted method of buying time.
People around the world have suffered whenever a government took a hard line. During Russia's Beslan siege, the Russian government's armed intervention led to the death of over 200 school children. These visuals shocked the world and demonstrated the catastrophic consequences of rash government actions.
It carries 250 passengers. If just because they don't want to negotiate, the guy threatens to crash, will you shoot it down? Who will take the decision? Even Russians, I doubt very much. If it is Duma, which is the Russian parliament, if a plane says with 200 passengers or 300 passengers, hijacker threatens to crash, even the Russians may hesitate.
Though the intentions of the government may be noble, but that is little solace for these air travelers. If they are caught in a hostage situation, they're not only at the receiving end of the terrorist wrath, but are also left at the mercy of their own government. With camera person Arun, Sai Manish for NDTV Hindu. Now, just days after she came down from the hills, AIADMK Supremo Jayalalitha is in big trouble. The Supreme Court has dismissed Jayalalitha's petition to quash the disproportionate assets case against her. Now, the trial, which is going on in a special court in Bangalore, will continue. The Supreme Court had transferred this case in 2005 to Bangalore. The special court now is presently, in fact, examining the witnesses. Janani was waiting in a bus stop in Chittoor with her parents on Tuesday when a milkman hit her. She was declared brain dead soon. That was not the end of the Janani story. In her death, she has given a new life to at least 4 people. Her donated eyes, heart valve and liver have been successfully transplanted on 3 recipients. But the most touching story, her kidneys have saved her father. Sam Daniel reports.
In her death, 5-year-old Janani gives the gift of life to her father. On Wednesday, Janani was caught in a road accident and declared brain dead. When the doctors discussed organ donation with her parents, they found Janani's father Chandrasekhar was suffering from a renal failure and desperately needed a kidney transplant. They decided there could be no better recipient for Janani's kidneys.
Usually the kidneys will be small in a 5-year-old child. One kidney may not be sufficient. So he decided to give both kidneys en bloc to his father. Minimum 10 days or so they will be here, or 2 weeks, and depending upon the recovery.
Father is also attacked with the kidney failure. That time the child dies, what they don't know to do. They decided to keep the child's kidney.
It's an emotional moment for doctors as well. Only recently, the Tamil Nadu government had simplified the procedure and gave priority for organ transplants from blood relatives. In Chennai, Sam Daniel, for India TV.
Well, the brave hearts of our country indulged in some daredevilry. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us.